This presentation is about student-centric teaching on the basis of multiple intelligence theory, right? And first of all, the outline. In the outline, we will cover first what is a multiple intelligence and what is happening today, and what should happen, our hypothesis, the reasons for why should we shift to multiple intelligence that contains extrinsic and intrinsic difference between extrinsic and intrinsic motivations, why use multiple intelligence, identifying multiple intelligence, and a few others. You can figure out what these are when we go into the details. Now, first thing, as in the topic, you already saw that our topic was student-centric teaching through multiple intelligence. So first question is, what is multiple intelligence? This is basically a theory given by Howard Gardner in 1983. He's a professor, I guess, professor of psychology at Harvard University. And what he said that a student or any guy thinks and he can think, or he has different intelligence, and he can be a master in one intelligence, and he might be a very loosely or have he can have a very good skills in one intelligence and not very good skills in some other intelligence. And what he suggested was that everybody is a combination of these eight intelligence, which are verbal, linguistic, logical, mathematical, visual, spatial, kinesthetic, musical, naturalist, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. What he suggests is that everybody has these intelligence in some ratios. For example, someone can be very good in logical, mathematical, and might be very weak in intrapersonal, and someone can be very good in bodily kinesthetic and very weak in verbal, linguistic. So one problem in teaching is that if somebody is very good in verbal linguistic, or if somebody is very good in verbal linguistic, which basically is something which is relevant to literature, and if you want to teach that guy mathematics in a way which is more like logical or mathematical pattern, then you might not deliver your message correctly to this guy. So first let me explain what these intelligence are. Verbal linguistic is basically these guys thinks in terms of words, and they love reading, writing, telling stories, playing word. This is the skills which these guys have, and to reach these guys, you can basically deliver them. You can present your opinion or your lecture in the form of books, tapes, give them some writing assignments. By using these type of methods, you can reach these guys more properly. And logical, mathematical are those persons who are basically good by in reasoning, and who are good in mathematicals, puzzles, figures, right? And specials are those guys who think in terms of images and pictures, in terms of space. And bodily kinesthetic is the guys who want to use their physical movements a lot. For example, dancing, running, jumping, building. And musical guys are those who basically think, or their thinking process starts when there's some music involved, right? And the intrapersonal guys are those who who are very social, who want to be in social gatherings. And if you want to reach those guys, if you want to deliver your message to those guys, it's better if you just give them a company of people and say them to just discuss on some topic which you want to teach. That way they can learn more effectively. And intrapersonal guys are those who are sort of just they sit alone and they just want to think and ponder on a problem by themselves. And now one thing, as I already mentioned, that these are the ways, or these are the things in which and one thing is that everybody, I already told, that is comes in a combination of all these personality traits. It's like somebody can be very good logical, mathematical, and he might not be very good in intrapersonal, interpersonal, and these type of combinations. And I can give you a few examples of people who are very good in, for example, Einstein and Bill Gates is considered to be very good in and logical mathematical intelligence. It is assumed that they have a very, and I guess their work also give us a proof that they are really very good in logical and mathematical. And for example, very great athletes, they fall in the bodily kinesthetic intelligence because they can use their intelligence, or they can perform better in that way. And Winston Churchill can be put in the intrapersonal intelligence, right? So these are different categories. Gardner also pointed out two more intelligence, which is naturalistic and existential. Naturalistic is something when you involve nature in the thing, and existential is about spirituality and these morals, these type of things. Now back to our questions. What we are actually discussing. Our main crux is that we are teaching to students and they are not grasping it. And I was just reading there was an article in New York Post that majority of the students who are leaving, who are just drop out. The name of the article was Dropout Nation, and the majority of the students who are basically leaving their school, I guess it was about 80% of those, and the argument which they gave was that they get bored. So the problem currently in our teaching system is that it is totally monolithic and teacher centric. The teacher wants to teach the way in which in which he thinks is a better way to teach. For example, if somebody is teaching mathematics and he himself has a good mathematical intelligence developed in him, so he will try to deliver the lecture in a mathematical way. And the guys who are basically weak in logic, mathematics, but they are good in music or kinesthetic sort of intelligence, they won't grasp knowledge to that level, or they might basically get bored. Because in simple ways, what I think is that these intelligence basically stimulate the process of thinking in you. For example, if you are a musical guy, kind of a guy, and if I want to deliver or initiate the thinking process in you, it's better if I just try to communicate with you in the process of music, and by talking to you musically in that way. Or if you are a kind of static kind of a guy, and if I want to teach you something, it's better if I start teaching you using some using some physical activities. For example, if I want you to learn about some pulleys, it's better if I just show you pulley. That if I just give you one pulley and I said you, okay, this is the lever and this is how you, if you just start catching the rope on one side, the second side will go up. This is the way in which you can learn more better, right? So currently, if students are not making or not having interest in the studies, the one reason is that it is basically a bit of tutor centric. The teacher wants to teach in the way he wants to teach, and he don't consider the way in which the student wants to learn. So what should happen? Actually, the multiple intelligence model which Howard has presented, it should be utilized, and our pedagogy content or the way in which we are delivering lecture, it should be such that it encompasses all sort of intelligence. Because if you have a class of 50 students, it has to be normal, and that all guys can't be mathematical genius, or all guys can't be intrapersonal genius. There is some guy, everybody is different. Some guys good in mathematics, some guys are good in intrapersonal skills, some guys are good in kinesthetic. So there's a combination of all these factors. So you have to deliver the lecture in which you can cover the way in the intelligences which are basically different intelligence in your lecture, so that every guy can basically grasp some knowledge out of it.